So I've been asked to make a tutorial on the volume profile indicator. However, I thought that if we're going to start with the tutorial videos, a good place to start would be on the pull and bear volume indicator, since this is the type of indicator that complements a lot of things and one of the more useful indicators to actually apply. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to search for the pull and bear volume indicator under navigator. Once you find it, so you can literally press B. Okay, let me just say, for example, you press B and you're going to go all the way to the pull and bear volume indicator. You're going to click and hold and drag it onto your chart. Once you've done that, okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is under indicators trend, you're going to want to select moving averages. You're going to want to drag that over directly onto your bull and bear volume indicator. Once you've done that, you need to select apply to and previous indicators data. Okay, now I've made this, I normally have it on set on this, but just to make it more visible, I left it on the second line thickness. Okay, and you can use any period moving average that you would like. I prefer the 50, but you can use a 200, you can use a 20-day moving average as well. Okay, so once you've loaded your indicator, your moving average, select OK, and then what you're going to see below is that your moving average is now applied to your pull and bear indicator. So let me just make this lines thicker so you guys can actually see. Maybe that's too thick. Okay, so once you have it loaded up, okay, you're obviously going to see that you have your moving average loaded above your bull and bear volume indicator. So using this indicator is quite simple. Just to explain how it works, first of all, so normally you have indicators. I think I actually want to show you guys if I can find it. Normally I have these indicators: pulls power and bear power, right? So this shows the overall strength of the pulls, obviously, and the overall strength of the bears. I'm not going to discuss this since this is not the tutorial on the pulls and bears power. This is the bull and bear volume indicator. So it works quite similar to this, except it's a combination of both in a sense. And instead of it showing you both separately, it kind of combines both into one, where you can actually see with your regular volume, obviously it moves up and down, but you can't really tell if it's a bullish market or bearish market. With this, however, it quite clearly makes it visible whether you are in a bullish or bearish trend. So when you see it green like this or red like this, it obviously indicates that we're in a bullish trend, you know, and we're in a bearish trend. And what you're going to want to pay attention to is that these bars, when they're accelerating, they're showing the strength. When they decelerate, when they are coming down, then it simply means that you're still in a bullish, and it's green like this. It simply means that you're still in a bullish trend. Okay, however, you are in a retracement. Okay, so that's the simple way of describing it. And okay, and then similar to the bears, you can see here when it's going up, it's showing strength in the bear market, right? And we're in a bearish trend. And then once it goes down like this, okay, then it indicates a retracement. So here you can see we're in a bullish retracement over here. All right. Same thing here. Okay, you can see that we're in a bullish retracement over there. So once we have our bull and bear indicator set up, so the next thing we need to understand of how this works is, if I take a vertical line, I'll actually show you. I think it's going to be easy to show with the bulls. Okay, so this is quite simple. So you have a moving average loaded up, and the minute you see that, let's say you found a dip, a retracement right here, and you see that this histogram tends to go up beyond the moving average, it will give you an ideal entry, okay, for the buys. Then if you want to get out of a trade, you just simply need to look for where the area is declining. Okay, so once you spot that the histogram has declined past the bear volume, sorry, the bull and bear indicators histogram, then you're going to want to get out. So we can clearly see that between this point and this point, we could have caught a nice bullish trade over here. Okay, and then if we focus similarly on the bear side, okay, we can see here that once the histogram started to touch that point over there on the moving average, we could have entered a sell trade. Okay, and our exit would have been when we see that the candle started turning green. That would have indicated to us that we need to get out. So you could have caught this big movement over here. All right, but similarly, you can look for the histogram as well and simply get out based on the histogram. So that's the main way of actually using the bull and bear indicator. However, it does have a second feature, which I'm going to show you as well. So if you right click and on your histogram and you click bull and bear volume properties, all right, you will see this option called highlight bull color, highlight bear color, bull strength color, bear strength color. Okay, if we make this let's say yellow, and we make this let's say teal, let's say aqua, and I press OK. Okay, maybe I didn't do that correctly. Let me just go back. Oh, you need to turn this on. Okay, so once you turn on display highlight, okay, it is now going to populate areas where there are potential reversals taking place. Maybe I should just make this color red so you guys can actually see. Okay, so it's going to make this red, so you can obviously control the line thickness of these ones individually, and then it will actually tell you where there are possible areas of retracements taking place. So if I look, for example, we had a bearish trend over here, right, and then once we spotted this over here, it would have given us an indication that we are now possibly heading towards a retracement, or the market is possibly changing direction. So this would have been an early indication that we need to get in on the trade. And if we pay attention here, right, so normally when we spot this, we are not going to enter when we spot this immediately. We're going to have to wait for confirmation. So what does confirmation look like? Well, confirmation is when you see this histogram bar over here. Actually, let me just close these, we don't really need it. So when you see this over here, right, and you see that there is one bar lower than the previous highlight, That's going to give an indication that the market is now changing direction. So you're going to enter based on that, on a declining histogram, a bar. You understand? So that is how you trade that. So you can see we in the bull short, well, we're actually in a retracement, but it reads it as a bearish trend. Once you spot the highlight over here, it goes down and we in for a buy. So in other words, we're not going to enter on this candle, okay? We're going to enter on the next candle. That's all that is indicating. And if you go similarly here, you can see that we were in a bullish trend, and once we spot this over here, okay, we're not going to enter on this. We're going to wait for another candle confirmation, okay? So we're going to enter on the next one, and we're going to sell. So let's say we sell here, okay, then we would have been able to catch this, ride this pullback all the way until here, or possibly over here. Then the third feature that the bull and bear volume indicator has, if I, let me just delete this, we don't need that. If I go to my bull and bear volume properties once more, we then see that we have a strength meter as well. So you can actually turn that on. Let me just turn that off. So you can see here that my strength meter is on, it's set on true, and I press OK. This will allow you to see what is the current bull and bear trend on the various time frames. So we can see that currently it's bullish on the 5 minute, 15, 30 and 1 hour based on our bull and bear volume profile. So we're on the 1 hour right now. We can see that it is green, it is clearly bullish. And if I go to, let's say, 30 minute, 15 minute, so if I go to my 30 minute, let me just do that, you can see that it's green. If I go to my 15 minute, we can see that it is green. Then we also have another feature which I decided to include. If we go to the volume heat map, okay, and we want to set this on true, okay, so here you can see currently volume heat map set on true. We're going to select OK. I'm not sure why it's not showing. I think it's because I turned this off. Oh, it works with us, that's why. So volume heat map, make sure that you have display highlight set to true, as well as volume heat map needs to be set to true. Then you're going to select OK, and it's going to populate essentially a heat map, letting you know where are the strong areas where the bulls are getting in for, or the bears are getting in for. So these can act as support and resistance levels. So if I click on the 1 hour, it's automatically going to show me that in this region over here, alright, this is a strong area to focus on in terms of support. So just to explain what the heat map is doing, all it is doing is it is considering where these points are on the various time frames, right? It's then also, so it's basically doing this. So it's basically saying, okay, here is a candle highlight, and all it's doing is it's doing that. It's making it's marking the area, kind of like you crossway would, but it's doing it with each and every single one. So that is how the heat map works. So we now know that, okay, in this region, this is a very strong region where we can most likely possibly expect sales to occur, and in this region here, It's a very bullish region, so we can expect normally support or buys to occur. Okay, this isn't always applicable in all scenarios, so by default it is off, but it does give you an idea of which areas are bullish or bearish in general. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got a thin blue line here indicating that we've got a strong area of support over here. Okay, that is it for the volume, um, the bull and bear volume profile. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and if you're looking to download it, the link is in the description. That is it for now. See you guys on the next one.